JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 2 men shot, 1 fatally in Portland attack. A man was shot and killed and another injured last night during an attack by armed men on Orrit Lane in Buff Bay, Portland. The police have since identified the deceased as 36-year-old Ricardo Everett, otherwise called Gregory, who resided in the Woodstock housing scheme. It is reported that about 9:15 p.m., Everett was standing with a group of men along the roadway after dropping off his daughter when a white Toyota Isis motorcar drove up. Gunmen exited the vehicle and opened gunfire. Residents claimed that the shooting lasted for about 20 minutes. Everett was hit in the upper body, and the other man was shot in one of his legs. The gunmen then drove off in the vehicle. Both injured men were taken to hospital where Everett was pronounced dead, while the other man was admitted. Person of interest held in killing of Grace Kennedy driver. The St. Catherine South Police have held a person of interest in relation to the murder of 30-year-old Grace Kennedy haulage contractor Leona Thomas, otherwise called Kimmy, whose mother was found in bushes last Thursday in the Central Village area of the parish. It is understood that the suspect was held in a recent operation in Central Village and is expected to be questioned in the presence of his attorney. Reports from the police are that Thomas was killed early Wednesday morning while making deliveries in close proximity to her home in Windsor Heights off Windsor Road in St. Catherine. She was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, a slashed throat, and plucked out eyes. 38-year-old charged with killing man over parking space. Kirk Edwards, a 38-year-old man from Lois Store, St. Mary, has been charged with the murder of Javon Larman, otherwise called Wacky, of Highgate in the parish. According to reports from the St. Mary police, Larman and Edwards were at a party in the parish about 2:15 a.m. on February 13 when they got into an altercation over a parking space. It is understood that the now deceased man ignored Edwards and went into the event. When the event ended, Larman was leaving when he hit an object in the process. He exited his vehicle to assess the damage when he was approached by Edwards, who stabbed him several times. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police say hours later, Edwards was taken into custody. He was charged on Tuesday, February 22, after a caution statement and an identification parade. Big contraband bust at Tower Street Correctional Center. Officers at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston have busted a contraband smuggling enterprise at the facility. On Wednesday, numerous packages of uncustomed cigarettes, ganja, alcohol, and lighters were found in a staff locker room. However, the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, says no one has been identified as the owner of the items. A day after the contraband bust, Xavier Main, State Minister in the Ministry of National Security, highlighted that the new Corrections Act imposes harsher penalties for possession of prohibited items in prison. He did not address the latest contraband bust but warned that no breach would be tolerated. Any correctional officer that will aid and abet the inclusion of contraband in the correctional facilities, they too will be dealt with strictly in accordance with the law, said Main. He said continuous work needs to be done in addressing the long-standing issue of prisoners having access to contraband. Main was speaking at the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU among the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, the DCS, and the non-governmental organization Stand Up for Jamaica. The MOU will allow for the educational upgrading of correctional officers and inmates. Barber arrested, charged after being found with gun. A man was arrested after officers caught him with a loaded Springfield Smith & Wesson pistol on Arnold Avenue in Almond Town, Kingston on Wednesday. Charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition is 32-year-old Daniel Barnes, a barber of Arnold Avenue in the parish. Reports from the Central Police Station are that about 10 a.m., lawmen were in the area when they saw Barnes with a bulge in his waistband. He was accosted, searched, and the gun with a magazine containing 5 rounds found. Barnes was arrested and subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. 23-year-old St. Elizabeth businessman suspected of scamming charged. A 23-year-old St. Elizabeth businessman has been charged with knowingly possessing identity information after police found evidence of scamming activities at his home on Tuesday. He is Kiefer Facey of Kingston District, Nain in the parish. Police reports are that on Tuesday, February 22, Facey was arrested during a targeted raid at his house. The police said during a search of the premises, 2 iPhones and 2 laptops belonging to him were found. The police added that upon inspection of the devices, one of the laptops had names and telephone numbers of people living overseas. The police said that there were also voice recordings with evidence of scamming activities. The accused was unable to give an account for the overseas numbers and names found on his devices. He is scheduled to appear in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Monday, February 28. An investigation is being carried out by the St. Elizabeth Criminal Investigation Branch. 5 boys detained in connection with killing of 62-year-old St. Elizabeth man. 5 boys, between ages 10 and 17, were on Tuesday taken into police custody following the killing of a 62-year-old man in the community of Long Acre near Black River. The deceased has been identified as Delroy Walters, otherwise called Soul J. A police source said that Walters was believed to have been suffering from a mental illness. It is theorized that Walters was attacked and stoned at his home on Monday after being found unconscious on Tuesday morning. A report from the police's corporate communications unit said about 3:55 a.m., Walters' brother found him suffering from wounds to his head and 4 arms. He was taken to the Black River Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Alleged gangsters disobeyed the execution mission to buy cocaine in Clarendon, witness testifies. The Home Circuit Court today heard that some alleged members of the One Done gang disobeyed an order to carry out an execution and instead went to Clarendon to buy cocaine. The order was reportedly issued by reputed leader Andrew Blackman Bryan, who allegedly instructed that they should not leave the mission until the targets, who were 2 other alleged gang members, were killed. The trial previously heard via the secret recordings that Blackman had given an order for defendants Dwight Hall, otherwise called Jim Brown, and Marco Easy Miller to be killed, and that the ex-gangster who recorded the conversations had rented the car that was to be used in the execution. The 2 alleged gangsters were reportedly targeted, as Blackman and other alleged members were of the view that they had double-crossed the alleged gang. But during one of the recordings that were played at the trial this morning, the witness was heard asking defendant Stephanie Christie where she was and if she had accomplished what she had set out to do. The so-called St. Thomas pastor in response said, "No, sir. He said the one where the youth feel, no feel so up in one night. I hold it been giving her. One of them will come out, the one they feel good, but I want key that," she said further. The alleged female gangster also told the witness during the conversation that the men she met up with lifted up their shirts to show their weapons. She added that she'll have to return the following day because it appeared that the drug dealers didn't want to do the transaction at night. "Them don't know if I falls money and Ray," said Christie, after pointing out that she was going to leave to carry out Blackman's order. "You can't teach a call every minute, me cannot even answer him," the witness said. When asked to explain the conversation, the witness said that he and a group of his alleged cronies, including defendant Crooks, 2 now deceased gangsters and 3 other persons who he did not know, including 2 women, had traveled in 3 separate cars to Lionel Town in Clarendon to buy cocaine. However, he said Christie had left them at a certain point and went to deal with the dealers, claiming they did not want too many people present. When asked to explain the line about the teacher, he said this was referring to Blackman, who he said had been calling him to check up as he had sent them to kill Easy and Jim Brown. Therefore, the witness said he could not answer at the time because him said we're not supposed to leave the road until somebody is killed. In previous recordings, Crooks was heard telling Blackman that he should start investing in cocaine and use the money to revive the alleged gang, but the alleged Don was disconnected from the call before he could reply. 58 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 10 deaths recorded. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has reported 58 new COVID-19 cases and 10 deaths on Wednesday, February 23, bringing the infection total to 127,799 and total deaths to 2,808. The new cases comprise 29 females and 29 males, with ages ranging from 34 days to 96 years. The cases were recorded in St. Elizabeth 17, Kingston and St. Andrew 14, St. James 6, Trelawney 5, Manchester and Hanover 3 each, Portland 2, St. Anne 2, St. Catherine 2, St. Thomas 2, Westmoreland and St. Mary 1 each. The deceased are a 77-year-old male from St. Catherine, a 67-year-old male from St. Catherine, a 61-year-old male from Hanover, whose death was previously under investigation, an 83-year-old male from Hanover whose death was previously under investigation, a 55-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 87-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 93-year-old female from Clarendon, a 50-year-old male from Clarendon, a 77-year-old male from St. Catherine, and a 65-year-old female from St. Elizabeth. The deaths occurred between December 2020 and February 2022. There were 277 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 75,952. Currently, 169 people are hospitalized, 14 of which are severely ill, while 4 are critically ill and 41 are moderately ill. The health minister has reported a positivity rate of 5.6%. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.